So, dear colleagues, welcome to the official award ceremony of the International Student Competition Urban Design Award. For 27 years, we organize competition of students in field of urban design and special planning. And I have the pleasure to welcome the awarded teams of this of the last year round. Let me introduce the guests of the ceremony. Dean of the Faculty of Architecture, Dalibor Hlaváček, President of the Czech Association of Urban Regional and Urban Planning, Mr. Petr Durdík, Head of the Department of Special Planning, Mr. Jakub Vorel, and jury member representative of University of Wrocław, paní Agnieszka Šumulas. Let me first ask the Dean of the Faculty to open the ceremony.
Hello, good afternoon already. I would like to welcome you here on the Faculty of Architecture. This is a very special moment because, as was already said, this competition has a long history, 27 years. I actually attended the competition, I think it was like 25 years ago. And since that time, the competition did a long journey and became an important part of the life of the Faculty of Architecture, beside other prizes like Druhá kůže, which is called Second Skin, and other prizes which are part of our life here on the faculty. So I would like to thank the organizers, with the head of the Department of Spatial Planning, Jakub Vorel, and also all the participating schools, because these such competitions are very important for us, not only to award excellent works of our students, but also to compare the ways how different faculties teach and to discuss where we should head with the education of urban planning. So thank you very much, and I give the word back.
Thank you very much. The competition, the organization of the competition started is the Czech Association of Planners, as well as is the Department of Special Planning. I'd like to ask Mr. Vorel to add some facts.
I will add some thanks, because our Department of Spatial Planning is responsible for organization of Urban Design Award for many years, and always it is somehow linked with this person, Vít Řezáč. So thank you very much. He's a leader of the organizing committee or organizing group of organizers. Also, I would like to thanks to his colleague and my colleague Zuzana Poláková and Maria Lišková here. So those three people are working very hard to allow this competition to happen. There is plenty of work behind it, and now the work is rewarded, because we have the best urban design projects from Visegrad countries, for the Visegrad countries. So I think it's a good occasion to look at those projects and to learn from them. First of all, I would like to, because we don't know who is the winner, so I would like to thank all the students who submit their work. There were 63 entries in this competition, and I think it's very inspirative. Every project has something inspirative for students, for us teachers, and it's a great occasion to learn. Also, I would like to thank Faculty of Architecture, here represented by Dean Dalibor Hlaváček, and also to our partners, because this competition involves 7 universities plus 4 professional association of town planners. So there is a kind of combination of academia and practitioners, and I think it's also value of this competition. And At the end, I would like to also thanks to members of committee because they are behind the curtain, working hard, making hard choices. And so I would like to thanks especially to Chairman Igor Hobza and Agnieszka is coming. Agnieszka Shumilas is coming by person. So thank you very much for your journey here. And you're all welcome to presentations of the projects and discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As Mr. Voller said, there will be no competition without a jury. Our idea is to compose the jury of two types of experts. First of all, they are experts outside of academic sphere, so practitioners and people working every day in planning business, and they have the majority in the jury. And the rest of the jury is composed by teachers representing the selected universities. Every year we make a draw to select those three persons. And last year it was Agnieszka Shumilas who was drawn up. I'd like to ask you to maybe share with us some of your experiences from the jury.
Hello. First of all, thank you very much for invitation. I have to tell you the truth. I'm the fan of yours, and every year I inform students about competition. I inform them about deadlines, and every year I tell them the same. Try to be as good as you can, and if you are the best, send your project. So it's really important for me that I could be a member of jury. It was very exciting to see how many projects from different countries, from different cities, on different topics. To cut the long story short, I would like to only add that all selected projects are focused on people, on the neighborhood. I think it's a step in good direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, and now it's time to disclose the names of awarded projects. So I ask Maruška to help me. So we will begin from the awards. There will be 4 awards. The first award goes to Michal Kryžo, Warsaw, for project Warsaw Kamionek. That's the book about English. The next award goes to Zora Bogárová, Delirious Sarajevo project. Next award, Mate Ersek, I can't read, project supervision, prosperity. Thank you very much. Aha, and Tamáš Gomboš. Sorry, we had two who everybody will get us. Sorry. So, and last award to Anna Mahdalová for a project called Still Looking for a Garden City. So, and now we have the winners. Unfortunately, these teams are occupied with diploma work, I think. So we will just announce the they are online. So we announce the third prize, which goes to Martina Kováčová for the project called Petržalka Luky Zone. Congratulations. And Another third prize goes to Kristina Changelová, also from Bratislava, for the same project of the same territory. Congratulations. The second prize goes to Patricia Pecková from Technical University in Brno for project Konova Cihelna. And the winner is first prize Terezy Říhové for the work Return to the River. Okay. So she came here, didn't know anything. She saw her work there. So she said, oh, maybe I get something. Congratulations. So thank you very much. As we announced right after the award ceremony, there will be a presentation of teams followed by discussion. We would like to focus on comparison how the topics of urban design and special planning is approached by different universities, and we would like to share our your experiences because this is a kind of unique occasion for us teachers to see how the same job is done at the different countries, different universities. So thank you once more for coming. Congratulations again to winners, and for those who follows us, please stay with us, and we begin at 1:30. Goodbye. Thank you very much. So it's the right time to begin. So welcome once more. And because we are extremely small group, and the purpose of this presentation is rather a debate, discussion. So I'd like to invite all of you to sit here in front, that we will share this very small space to be actually more interconnected, because we don't want to spend so much time on the presentations itself, but rather on a discussion about your experiences. It's I think much more comfortable that we are close to each other. So please go there or sit here next to me, and we will follow the same order what we presented here. So first we start with awards, and then with the winner, because she's the only prize keeper presented here. But before we begin, I'd like to ask another jury member, chairman, Mr. Igor Hobza, to share his experience, because I think it was his first time being in this type of jury.
Okay, so I lost my paper, so it's going to be very short. As far as I remember, it was 62 projects that we went through for the first round, and then reduced it to 20. It's amazing work. I do not say that we would like to get your appreciation, but to realize how much time all of the jurors spent on the project. And we didn't want to, leave any project behind just because it has weird pictures or visualization. We went really under the skin of every project. I'm very glad that the jurors were spread all over Europe, like 8 people. Each of the jurors was from certain university. So we got also the local point of view, or local point of view, which is very important. For us, we know the Czech environment, we know the laws, we know the the social situation, but for example, it's difficult to just judge about Hungary, Poland, Slovakia. So I was very glad that we cooperated on this judging, and from this 62 we choose 20 projects, and then we reduced it to 6, and we were very surprised by the quality of the projects. Basically, it was, and we were glad because we didn't have to take care of it either, whether it's academic or professional work, and we could concentrate on the topic. There was the certain project solving. So it was great pleasure to discuss the problems of each project, and I think it was also for me contribution because I got to know new points of view of certain issues that are present here. And the last thing that I would like to emphasize is the beginning of the project. The beginning of the project is choosing of the task, and I'm very glad that the first place was very, how to describe it, modest compared to some other projects that were very large scale. This project was modest in a sense that it took that it was just small interventions in local city in the Czech Republic. And this is very important to also emphasize that even small cities are important to our urbanism. So that's all.
Thank you very much. I maybe catch the point when you speak about the quality of the project, because I work as a professional project manager, so I deal with architects every year, and I have to say that the quality of students' work is at least the same, sometimes even better, in terms of the images, what the professional architects do, not because they are bad, but because they don't have time, under such a short time, what the students produce is really tremendous, and we are very happy that you encourage yourself to compete with these others, because competition, this is the everyday life of architects, this is a competition of ideas, competition of skills, and you test it maybe on the first time in your life, and that we hope that if you succeeded, that it will help you to get some trust in yourself and to go on in this way. It's the only way how architects actually can show themselves. So, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will now like to ask you to go through of your projects. Please don't focus so much on your particular design, because we don't have time and capacity to focus on that, but rather speak about the circumstances of the projects, how your studio approach, how have you chosen your professors, what was your idea behind, and then right after the very short presentation, I expect like 5 minutes, there will be some questions coming from the audience, not only from us as a teachers, but we do hope that will be also from your side as participants. So the very first project is, the workshop project. Yes. So this works standardly.
Thank you. It's also with a laser?
Yes, that is.
Okay. Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for introduction. And my name is Michal Kryžo. I'm a last year student of Faculty of Architecture and Design in Bratislava. And the topic of my project was derived from international student competition from Saint-Gobain, which was like last year, not this one, but a year before, which was to design student housing in this area. but I was asked to make an urbanism project, so I had to take a larger part of the city and found interesting problems and also a few interesting solutions to them. So this is the situation. We are in Warsaw, in the right bank of the Wisla River, near the city center, the stadium and Park Skajewski. And this is the project area, which is which is wasting the opportunity to use the great transport infrastructure which is nearby, and which is subordinated to the production or old industrial zones, brownfields, which are not really in use today. So I've chosen a few like main concept ideas, which is a connection. It's not shown here, I don't know why, but a connection for pedestrians and cyclists, following an idea of a city of short distances, and then connect small isolated green zones into a green network, which with a biocorridor in the middle, connecting to this largest and nicest park, Skajewski in Warsaw, and then to make up some hierarchy of usage, which is a territory of suburban importance because of stadium and because of stations, and territory of local importance where the residential areas are located. And it was not a brand new urban design. Some buildings were existing and some were new. So this is functions. These are functions. On the right side, residential. On the left, polyfunction and retail, offices, civic amenities, and station. Then I used height zoning for better spatial orientation, which was not existent before, and some spatial composition analysis or thinking with composition axis and dominance or accents at their ends. And also hierarchy of public spaces, where the red colors are the most busy areas throughout the day, and the brighter the color gets, the more private space it is. And same logic here by transport. The more red color, the higher priority, and the less bright or light color, it's local streets. And so the basic concept were post connection for the cyclists. So this is a dense network of cyclist pathways, and also a dense network for of public spaces and pathways, and also for different activities like sports and so on. And also greenery. Again, the darkest green is a biocorridor in the middle, and green axis connecting other.
És videót kezdtek. Köszi.
My controller is not functioning anymore.
Is that functioning?
No.
Yeah, because.
Laser is, but.
Sorry, Tak teď můžeš znovu říct.
Yes, I don't know. Dr. Alfeld, did you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I'm here.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So I hope that the quality of the presentation is fine. Did you hear the students, or because we can eventually change the position of speaker?
Yes, but the presentation is good, but I cannot hear you before these changes.
There was some mistake.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
but it is nice.
thank you very much. So now we go back to your presentation. It's tremendous. Where did you do it alone?
Yes.
And was it part of standard education, or because you mentioned that it was a competition, no? Or how it was organized?
In this area was a competition, but just for the student housing for one block, and I couldn't do it because I was supposed to do an urban design project. So
as a standard studio work.
Yes.
So you increased the workload several times.
But your colleagues were doing the small part.
Yes, we are working in the vertical studios. So students of another year of study.
Would you come here to sit next to me, Mr. Alfeld here?
So the other students in another years of study could do the competition, yes, except me.
Were they react to your design somehow?
I don't know, not normally.
And also you mentioned that you are from Institute of Ecological and Experimental Architecture. Is it a part of Faculty of Architecture?
Yes, and it has like 3 design studios, and I'm a member of one of them with 3 supervisors or lecturers, all great people, and yes.
And was that you have chosen a site which is outside Slovakia? Was that on purpose, or was it just by chance?
Because the general topic of that particular design studio, where I am in 4th year now, was this competition topic in Warsaw, Poland. So I just I wanted to be and learn from these people in this design studio, so I just edit.
Okay. So any questions?
How many times did you visit Warsaw?
Warsaw, it's Warsaw.
Warsaw.
I wasn't here because it was a pandemic. It was just online.
Okay.
Bad luck.
Okay, there are yes.
If you have time, so. Well, this is maybe a too extensive question. How was your semester on this project? How was it organized? Have you some strong leadership by teacher telling you what to do when, or did you just make your plan? It was best
Did you
of your
do
time?
our own agenda? No.
things that you have seen, it was my own agenda. They were just making sure that everybody keeps it's possible to finish it in time, but while they were sure that it's okay, then it was my job to find what's the right layout or was it the right drawing to concentrate on during semester.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Maybe question, were your teachers satisfied with the result? Without knowing that you succeeded in this competition?
Yes, they were, and they said that it's a very good job for a fifth-year student, that they are satisfied.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I'd like to ask you, Zora. Get ready. Zora, můžeš to tam? So Zora Gubogarova comes from Brno.
Yes.
And she will present a project with location in Sarajevo.
Oh, yes.
Would you come next to me because microphone?
But, yeah.
Or you can sit here. You can sit here.
So hello, my name is Zora Bugarova. Thank you for your time. And this project is called Delirious Sarajevo, and the supervisors were Radek Toman and Andrea Pavlovic. And this project is about the conceptual design of cycling paths and their interconnections. And how it started was that we went to Sarajevo and we just walk around and get a look at the city. And from our perspective, what was the biggest problem that we noticed? So every student chose a little bit different subject, but all of us worked on the Sarajevo. And I noticed the traffic problem with Sarajevo because, as you can see, there is this one main linear road, which is in the middle of the valley, and there are mountains around Sarajevo. So every day, in the morning rush hours and afternoon rush hours, the time to get from point A to point B gets multiplied because Sarajevo is a city depending on cars. Which you can also see in this analysis, and you can see how many possible public spaces are right now used as parking lots, because you don't have any other option. For example, here you can see the public transportation in Sarajevo. The trolley and tram lines follow the same route almost as the one main linear road. So you don't get the access to the residential areas that are in the mountains or on the hills. There are already some existing cycling paths, but they are only in small parts. They don't connect to each other. So it's really hard for you if you want to use a bike or any other alternative way of transportation other than car to get to the point that you want without any problems. And in this picture, you can see the differences. On the left side, how many parking lots and cars are in there. For example, in the middle picture, there are older people playing chess, but they are surrounded by cars. And on the right side, you can see that people were using the bikes, but it was kind of hard for them. They had some smaller pavements or everything else. So after that, we were in Sarajevo and we kind of analyzed what are the most problematic areas that we would like to connect to the valley of Sarajevo, which, for example, some of them are areas that were developed after the war, which was really fast development and without any connections, or parts that are actually good on its own, but the only connection is with cars, and it would be really dangerous for you to get there by just walking or any other way. So these are the parts that I chose. And then I created the new structure that would be connected by ramps to the already existing cycling paths and to the hills. There are many ways, and this is a huge structure, but it didn't have to be used all at once. This is just some like manifesto, you can say, of how it can be used. And opposing the linear structure of the already existing paths. And now I picked 3 points of this whole structure. So for example, the first one is a lookout, which is near railway station, and it's connecting the residential areas above it to the valley. And it also, in the future, there should be a sports center in the mountains, so it could connect also the sports center to the valley. And it also has a stairs in the middle if you want to take a walk around in the hill and so on. The other one is the bridge, which connects 2 residential areas, because in the middle there is right now normal road, but for the future there is planned a main arterial road, which would be even harder to pass. And also underneath that in the wall is a huge supermarket, which would be also easy, for example, older people to use, to just go with the bridge and take a lift to the supermarket, and they don't have to cross the steep places. And then the last one is the station, which is the main node of all of those paths. And they all meet in front of the railway station, bus station, and public transportation system. So it would be easy for the users of this ramp to get from point A to point B anywhere in the city, and they also could park their bikes or anything else in this part and take another public transportation anywhere they would need to. So then there are some visualizations, and that's all.
Yeah, thank you. How much time did you spend in Sarajevo?
We went there for 1 week at the beginning of the semester, and then after the project was done, we went there again to Faculty of Architecture in Sarajevo to get some critiques about our view.
And did you have a chance to talk to some experts during the first stay?
Yes, because the supervisor, Andrea Pavlovic, she is from Faculty of Architecture in Sarajevo. So we met with her there, and she also connected online to our critiques during the semester.
Okay, so any questions?
I would like to tell you that I really like your project. You answered for important question, how to reduce the huge number of cars in cities. It's a difficult question, but you know the answer. Answer for Sarajevo. You have to build huge red build in city center. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe it could be difficult to implementation in real world, but it's your answer. If you'd like to change transportation habits, you have to do something crazy. So that's the why I like your project.
Thank you. Also, also it was interesting because when I showed this proposal, I understood that it's not completely like a reality to build it in a few next years or so on. But when people from Sarajevo came, they actually told me that, yeah, we are really depending on cars in here. And it was interesting to get to talk to them about this problem.
So you had an opportunity to see the opinions of local people, did you?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, I also appreciate the confidence of your project. I really like the boldness of it, I suppose. But I was just wondering, have you been working also with some transportation engineer, or did you consult with someone?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it was more conceptual than with engineers or something. Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I was really just curious, is there any relation to New York? I mean, the US New York.
Yeah, it was mostly the name of the whole studio, but then it kind of made sense for me. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Okay, students, no questions or no? Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now I would like to ask Tamás and Mate to present their work. So you can sit next to me. Okay.
we prefer to stand while presenting. It's point. So good afternoon. Thank you for having us. And so in a short few minutes, we'd like to talk about our plan. So at the title, you can see that it is a social housing project, and this is why we had a slightly different focus than from the previous plans. The location is Hungary and Budapest, and it is a district of Budapest that is quite near to the touristical attractions, and it's a quite central area, but it is a part of the city which is mainly rundown area and not a very prestigious place to live. And many people who are from less fortunate backgrounds.
Sorry, could I ask you to go there, because we
oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So people from not with limited financial means live here, and you can see on the buildings that they are quite architecturally historic buildings and quite rich architecture, but in a very rundown state of repair. And so this was the planning area, and these are our own photos. So we have spent some time in the area observing how people live and how people behave there. And at the start of the semester, so it was a university subject which is over the course of one semester. At the first few weeks, we have carried out several areas of research, and this is a social research. As you can see, if we look at the education, more than 70%, if you add the first two categories together, is of maximum secondary school education, which is not a very desirable condition here, as opposed to other districts of Budapest. And also, if we look at this labor market segmentation, it is quite unsatisfactory. So we aimed to change this situation by creating a sort of cultural hub here, because this is the part of this district is a small quarter which our planning assignment was based on. And as you can see, there are none of these institutions which could generate revenue or generate a sort of cultural upswing. So there are none of that in this area. And this is why we aim to start this imagined prosperity and this plan through these social aspects. And now,
so after we've done our research, we started to design the project, and we realized that we have really low budget. So we thought we should make phrases of projects. And in the first place, we started to work with the existing buildings that Mate shows the picture of. And we wanted to make them more livable with opening up the spaces. So this building has really narrow courtyards, and we wanted them to connect and make livable community places. And the other thing that we did with the apartments, we opened them up together for families, so it's a more ventilated and opener, bigger apartment. And for enhancing the diversity of locals, we made penthouses, so it's more diverse and it's livable, and it's yeah. And in the second phase, we suggest a new developing area, and So here we made the opening up, the space opening, the apartment opening, and the upward extensions. And with the new block, we researched the historical buildings, and after we made blocks and houses with individuality, and yeah, this was a parking lot, so we didn't have to demolish anything, and it's just a suggestion for future developers. And these slightly funnier names or individuality the buildings has. And here's like a small visualization.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, Dr. Alfeldi was your tutor now. I wonder if he would like to add something. Hello?
Hello. Yes, I think it's a very nice plan, and I love it. And I think it is very good to see this plan in this international connection. And I think this plan tried to make some conversation between the poverty, between the urban fabric, and between the future. And this is why what I like this plan and like the work disguise.
And this kind of discussion shall not be just focusing on the specific project, but we would like to generally open discussion about the education and urban planning. So what are the current challenges in Hungary in terms of city planning? What is, let's say, the goal of your university, in which way to educate future planners?
Yes, I think our most important topic, like the other cities in Europe or in the world, the climate challenges, the climate adaptation, and I think it is the good, and this is the must problem for us, the poverty in this territory, and the social inequality in between within the city, and I think after the crisis and in another crisis, our city tried to survive this crisis and try to make some good vision for the people and for the citizens a better future. But I think there is a big debate between the climate adaptation and the surviving of the crisis.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
Maybe I would like to ask, because this is very complex topic, the poverty and how to solve this problem. Urban design can help it, but probably can't solve it completely. I would like to ask you whether there was some preparation of students about the analysis, about the knowledge, some knowledge base about various solutions of poverty. How the students approach this topic, how they were prepared for that.
It's from us, or
yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is a question for the students, or it is a question for the university?
It was primarily to you as a teacher, because we are here teachers, and we are interested. We have also that kind of topics, and we know that they are very, very difficult to solve. So and that students need some kind of understanding also social aspects of the problem of poverty, economical aspects, and then maybe they can approach to design. So I would like to ask you whether there is some preparation for that.
Yes, it is my opinion, not the official opinion of Hungarian urban planning. My opinion that the city is a social organization, not a physical or not a engineering engineering things. And I think in my job that try to teach or try to understand, try to make some help, some support for the students to understand which is the main aspect this type of thinking, because when we tried to work with these students, they plan a lot of things, public building and tenement building, but the difference between the city and between the building design, I think there is a lot of differences between the topics, and we work with the students about the social data. We work with about the personal histories of the territory, and we try to speak or try to talk with them by word cafe about the future. We focus the vision, and we try to understand that which is the vision of the poor people, or which is the vision of the city, or which is the vision of the investor, or because this approach, this 3 or 4 approach, very different, and we try to talk with the guys about the possibility of these people who live in bad condition, or who live in a very poor future. Yes, I think.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? Yeah, last one.
I just wonder, what's the ownership pattern in the district? Who are the owners?
There was a question about the owners of the land. Yeah, for this question on students.
Yes.
Yes. So this part of this quarter is mainly municipal. Yes, municipality owned, and there are some unused lots or unused apartments in these buildings, and which we envisioned that the ground floor area could be livelier, was sourced from this idea that there are many places that are not used.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I have to go. Sorry, but in this time there is a executive board in this moment in Budapest, and I have to go to this meeting.
But we appreciate that you joined, and we plan at the Faculty of Architecture in Prague to continue in this discussion among teachers. So I hope that you will join. We will send you some invitation later on.
Yes, I think it's a very important approach to work together in Central Europe, and we work and change ideas about the urban planning and about the urban situation. It is very important, and I wait for this conversation.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
So Anna Magdalova is the next one. She's from the Faculty of Architecture in Prague, works in the Michal Kuzemensky and Petra Kunarova studio.
Can you move there because you are
visible
from
Control.
I don't know how it works. Like
That's the laser
okay.
Left, right.
So this semester, the task was still looking for the garden city. We should design all the studio. We had the same site. This is the area of 4,000 square meter, and we were supposed to design the residential area there. The site is located next to the lines of terraced houses on the hill, on the mountain, and with the view on Prague. In these days, the site is kind of jungle with shelters and with the remains of garden colony, and also with people living in their cars. So it's located in Prague, in periphery, next to Libeň, block structure of Libeň, and next to the panel housing of Nový Stříškov, and the closest neighbor are terraced houses. So my structure is composed of one basic unit, which is repeating. I slightly modified the basic unit and composed them into the structure remaining chessboard. I wanted every apartment to have enough greenery around and in the same time create a dense structure. They are of different heights. So there is the section of the site. These pictures are taken near to the site, and it's like three important pictures for me because they are like three important atmospheres. I wanted to create like enough dense structure to create like a cozy environment. Then I wanted to recreate the jungle on the side, and I wanted to create houses with generous exterior space. So this is the basic unit, the basic stone of the whole structure, which is composed actually from three houses in one. They are connected by the terrace. In the studio at Michal Kuzemensky, we try to design whole urbanism, but also the detail of the apartments, of every apartment. So this is the typical apartment of the structure, where it was important for me to be connected as much as possible with the exterior. The apartment is zoning, but at the same time, it's possible to go directly from the bedroom to the common space. This is the visualization of the apartment. This is the visualization of the whole structure. It's like something as a square. The houses are should be constructed from the CLT panels because it's possible to partial prefabrication, and it's economic because after you are able to construct the houses pretty fast on the site. And that's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just technical questions. Where are the staircases? I just haven't seen this. How to get?
Staircases.
How do you get up?
They are in like hidden in one of the houses.
So
here,
the people from
so
the
you go from this terrace. It's common, and
which
you go from
continues on each
terrace
floor, you know,
through the winter garden to the apartment.
Okay, okay. There's a question. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one question. You are obligated to prepare an urban structure and a single house. Was this project for 2 semesters or just one?
No, just one.
Just one, okay. Thank you. And another one question. Can I get to your area by public transport?
Yeah, the area is connected to the public transport. I didn't design where should be the station in our site. It wasn't like really urbanist task, but there should be there is bus station near to the site.
Okay, thank you. You should call this project rather Jungle City. Garden City. Thank you.
Another question?
No. There is 700 people, as you shown on the last slide.
Yes.
What kind of basic facilities will you provide for them?
Yeah, there are like basic facilities near to this site, but I know it's not enough, and I think it should appear in the parterre of some my houses that there should appear some space to rent to create their
for kindergarten, say?
Sorry.
For kindergarten, for instance?
I didn't design this in the area, but it should appear in the parterre of the houses.
And what kind of inhabitants do you estimate there?
So it was the task to design the alternative for the people who are buying the houses on the periphery of Prague, or in the or on the periphery, like family houses on the periphery of big cities.
Will they have cars? Will they have cars, these people?
Probably yes, but this one should be alternative. So there are like parking under the terrain.
Is there parking under the houses?
Yeah.
So this will be probably for better situated people.
Yeah.
I would have a question. Were you confronted with the master plan, the real master plan of Prague? I mean, from point of view of capacities, the height of the buildings.
Yeah, it's like regulation. Regulation on this site tells how the building should be. How the building should be tall. I think it was like 2 or 3 floors, somewhere 2, and but I made somewhere 4 because I thought it's
good. Okay. No more questions. Thank you very much. And there are waiting people on internet there. So it's Martina Kováčová and likely Kristina Changelová, who received the 3rd prize for a project in Bratislava, Petržalka. So, colleagues, if you are ready, the floor is yours. We don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, that's great. So, hello, we would like to introduce you to the topic of our work, Petržalka, area around Culture Central Luky. Petržalka is the largest panel housing estate in Bratislava. We solved this work together in a vertical studio Polakovič Pátor. Our territory is one of the part of the largest site. After examination zone, we came to the option that this area is the most visited place is in Petržalka. People most often use this zone for walking, cycling, or spending time with their children here.
The biggest problem is the condition of public spaces, parking problems, and monofunctionality. In our project, we are trying to densify our zone with a new type of housing, create enough green areas, and provide space for work, culture, and sport. We divided the area into 3 parts. The first is office building, the second housing, and the third is culture and sport.
We want Petržalka to be more just a place to sleep. That's why we are projecting 4 new office buildings with equipment and services on the ground floor, and all these with quality public spaces and life around. There is some visualization from this part.
And the second zone is dedicated to living in terrace houses, a new typology that descends to the small stream. The composition helped to create views and follow the existing roads. In the residential area, we are trying to create inner blocks with lots of green, community gardens, and sport fields.
Currently, in this area is only church in a 3rd zone, and we are designed a library and 2 office buildings nearby. On the other side of Dražďák Lake, we place temporary housing like Airbnb cabins. We see a great potential in the area we are dealing with. We try to make full use and create spaces for all ages, residents, but also people who are only passing through the zone.
Our goal was to create new opportunities and bring new qualities to the land that has such great potential for growth. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we heard nicely, so there was no problem with understanding. So if I summarize that you decided with a very intensive intervention, bring a new quality to extremely large housing estates. What have you discussed the social problems of Petržalka during the studio? What was your target in these terms of social issues there?
As we said, we think the biggest problem is the condition of public spaces and lack of communities or places where families can spend their free times and kids. So we try to more densify and
are there any data about, let's say, changes of social structure of people living in Petržalka? Are there any, processes running in Petržalka, having, let's say, 30 years of different social conditions?
I mean, if there is a change of social structure in terms of percentage of different social groups living in Petržalka, or if it's still stable, is it Petržalka stable, and this will improve and provide new opportunities for existing people?
I think that it improves, but it goes really slowly, because it's a really big area in Bratislava, and a lot of people live there.
And the issue of parking, because I know that when Petržalka was built, all the parking were outside, was on open air parking lots. So what is the current strategy in Petržalka?
We designed some parking houses and some under terrain parking.
So, any questions? Yes.
Maybe not question, but comment. What I like in your project is graphic sites. You have diagrams, freehand drawings, a lot of cross section, and you have quite a lot of attention in your project. So that's my comment. Thank you.
So it was not a question; it was just congratulations.
Yes, right. Congratulations. No question.
Yes.
So I have a question, very similar, simple. In the design process, during the design studio, where was the most difficult decision or the most difficult moment for you?
Have you got the question?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe to choose the best composition of buildings, and I don't know.
There was no problem.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you very much. Congratulations. We are sorry that you cannot be with us today, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Goodbye. But stay with us. Stay with us. There is one more presentation coming.
No,
two more.
Aha. The next one is also.
And Patricia Pecková from Brno is ready too. I didn't know.
Yeah,
hello. Hello.
I will share my screen, I guess, because.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So I was doing in the winter semester the Cons Brickyard, which is this area in Brno. Actually, it's kind of close to the city center. Here is the main station. Here is the main city center. This is the old Brno. So I would say the location is quite good because it's really close to more important parts, for example, also to the Fakulty hospital and the exhibition center. So that's the surrounding, I would say. Then my scheme of proposal was built on kind of like separate or like make few parts of the whole area. The main idea of the project was create the connection, which is the red line, the road through the whole area. On this road is connect the center of this new district, which is like the heart of the district. And then I was working with let's say 4 typology, which is the urban block development, then individual development, open block development, and linear semi-block development. Also very interesting, or let's say interesting on this project was the bio corridor and the bio center next to this area, which we have to work with. And then in the and then we have to create kind of connection between this biocorridor and the existing structure. So then I was my urban principles which I used for this project was kind of create the natural structure, not like Barcelona, for example, but I was more inspired by Camilo Cité, and I really wanted to create something more nature. Also, the building height principle was like next to our area is this panel houses, which is also with few family houses, so it's kind of too big contrast for me. So I was kind of more thinking about create more nature height of the building. And also the street wide, I was trying to make the deepest which was possible, and make the feeling kind of like still, even if it's kind of big because of the sun for the housing, then still should be kind of having the feeling it's like normal, really personal street, let's say. So this is my proposal. As you can see, I had really let's say interesting structure of the blocks. Next to the corridor or biocenter and this greenery park is more the individual, which is like housing. Then the city or district center, it's having the public stuff. And yeah, and again, like, yeah, and also I would maybe point, like I was also doing some community gardens which are located in these kind of semi-open blocks. So there's the functional scheme. As I said, the heart of the district is more public, and the orange one is the mixed residential. So I was more thinking about the polyfunction buildings, and the red one are just for living. And yeah. Also, we have to deal with the traffic scheme. So I had to create new main street, which is the red one. There are also located few bus stops for the area that they will be still kind of closed for all people. And then the green roads are like two-way side streets for the cars. And then I create like a pedestrian street, few of them. And maybe interesting on this traffic scheme was like I was trying to reduce the cars in this whole area, and I was more trying to apply the idea of the car sharing and bicycle and traffic. Sorry, for the transport.
Pedestrian.
Yeah, pedestrian and public transport. The green scheme, it's showing like I was really trying to bring the greenery in the area, and kind of also make the street still green, because I think we already could feel now on the street when the street doesn't have the trees, it's kind of warm. So I was kind of trying also make some, let's say, microclimate better for that place. In the section, you can see that we were actually working with the kind of interesting terrain. And into these urban blocks, I put the garage for the cars. And this is the street profiles. I was really paying attention for the street that they can have the roads for the bike separate from the cars, and also the pedestrian can have enough space to walk through the street. So that was like what I was doing. This is the axonometry of the area. So yeah, I was trying to make kind of connection between these two streets, Vinohrady Street and Vyhlášení Street, and also between the existing structure and Forest Park, and then yeah, kind of paying attention to the greenery street and community gardens. And well, the whole project was about the carbon neutral city, so we have to kind of deal with the ecological part of the project. So I would say the most important is the construction. In that project, I was proposing CLT panels and rebeton. Honestly, with the time, I will still change a little bit that and go much more into the West style of the sandwich construction with wood. Then the energy of the project was dealing with the green energy, so solar panels, and yeah, so solar and photovoltaic. And then the water management was dealing with the green roofs and kind of taking the water and reuse it. Maybe interesting on that was like I also want to use the gray water for washing the clothes, and also very important for my project was the community. Oh, sorry, can you see it? I lose it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The community, and I was really thinking about like the whole project should start with the participation, and that the people can kind of decide what they want and what is really important for them and what they are missing kind of in that part of the city, and also try to make these community gardens and somehow bring the people together. And also the area should have most of the stuff that the people don't need to travel so much through the whole city. So that was kind of the idea, because I think also the carbon neutrality depends on how much people need to transfer from the one point to another point. So yeah, I would say that's it, and I lose it. I know it's here. And thank you for your attention.
Yeah. Thank you very much. My first question goes back to your point with the community. Did you have a chance to discuss that project with locals or local politicians or municipality? No. And
no,
is it?
Really, it was more really like theoretical project, so not so much.
And is it your first urban design studio, or
honestly,
have you?
Yes.
Okay. Fine.
I have one question. Did the whole group of students work on this area or just you?
No, we were like, I think 3 students which were working on the same topic, same area, but we made all of us like kind of different projects, kind of a lot of different projects.
And is this plan conform with the land use plan, or do you propose some other solutions for that area?
The other students have kind of different, I would say, typology of the urban planning, and they have like different ideas as I had. Like they had different inspiration as I had. So.
Okay.
Was the idea of a zero carbon district, was it your idea or was it just?
No, it was the project. Like I didn't know the teacher so much. I just saw the project like we will do the carbon neutral city. So I was like, oh yeah, let's try it.
And where did you find your say tips how to make it? Was
we made actually the theoretical book for this project, which was kind of describing few points of the carbon neutral city, and also for me was big inspiration my internship in Switzerland. So that kind of also helped me, I guess.
And have you done this book during the semester or before?
Yes. No, it was during the semester.
In parallel, yeah.
Yeah, we were doing this book together, all 3 students, and that was like kind of the theoretical background.
I just want to ask the same as was asked before my predecessors. I really appreciate the focus on those new challenges, and I understood that you have some kind of learning process in Switzerland. It's probably different from your university. What do you see as a knowledge gap that should be completed in the curricula of your university? Or is it okay that the theoretical courses do sufficient preparation for this kind of design studio?
Well, I would say, well, with the other countries different, but I think how it is now in the school, like the theoretical background was really helpful for the project. So yeah, probably we have to still kind of, like, for example, with this project, I have kind of the problem with my teacher because I was reducing the cars. So I think it's more about the mindset of the people and that it's not able to change, like just you want to change it. So I would say like it's kind of okay how it is. And I really enjoyed the project, and also I'm really happy that we could have this theoretical background for the project. Is it okay, this answer?
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? No question. Thank you very much. Stay with us because Terezy Říhová will present her study.
Good afternoon. This is my project that was about Strakonice. Strakonice is a small town in south of Czech Republic. It has around like 22,000 people living there, and it's right on the conjunction of Volyňka and Otava River. Rivers were very present in the history of the town. Like, there's a castle from 15th century, and all the industry is placed on the rivers. But with the traffic coming to the town, the historical buildings were destroyed, and the city was mainly around the traffic because the Strakonice are basically the gate to the Šumava National Park. When you go from Prague down to the south, you divide your road either or, and so Strakonice, the people living there have to use cars to go from one place to another because it's basically unwalkable. So my design is to make the city, or town, more walkable again, to make it pedestrian friendly and to return to the river because the canal that I restore is piped now, and there's parking lot instead of that and stuff like that. So I will present that to you. Here you can see the pictures how the town was changed after the traffic, when the car were involved in the city. And this is the manifestation that I made when I started to design the project. And it's mainly about the pedestrians, walkability, return to the river, what is the name of the project, and also to connect the city to the town with the nature, so you can walk from one side of the town to another within the greenery and the green structure. So this is, you basically can see that, but yeah, that's fine. Here is the original on the left. If you could see it, there's mainly big road in front of the castle, which I demolished because that's the main barrier in the development of the city. And I also demolished a couple of high-rise panel apartment buildings and designed a structure that you can see more here. That's the blue one. The gray one is the one that is already there. And on the left, you can see how the old road came around the castle down to the south. And I designed apartment blocks for people and like close the buildings to make it more densified and walkable. Instead of the panel blocks, like high-rise block down there, I designed blocks of buildings, and they are like lower where the river is, and they are higher when it goes to the south because there are high-rise buildings as well. And yeah, I divided the area in 4 parts. There's the brewery, that's the D. C is around the Margaret's Church, which is the area that was the most like transformed during the history. Then there's the B, which is around the castle, where the main road now is. It's 4-lane road, and there's always like convoys of cars, so you can basically see the castle, and you can't like walk there because there are no pedestrian crossing and stuff like that. And the A is like addition to that, so we can use the river for walks and stuff. Each of the districts were designed so it provides people places to go. Each of them has like local centers where you can stay and create a community. As you can see that on the river banks there are row houses, which are similar to the houses that were there before the panel houses came. And I also used the supermarkets or like the like commercial places that are there designed newly, and use that as a like accommodation for the people living there now. And yeah, you can see how it is now and what I'm proposing in all the districts. Here is the district around the castle. You can also see the connection, the bridge up there. There's 2-line road because there's a connection to the chalets and like not like touristic, but like gardens and community gardens on the east. And this road here is only for pedestrians or like for emergencies, so people can actually walk to the castle and use it freely. In front of the castle there is a free square which can be used for like any cultural event that they place to, because they have, for example, like the Duck Festival, which is quite huge because of the brewery that's there. And yeah, the castle is very, very popular and historically important, so it's good to see it and use it as well. There's area C, which is connected by new bridges, and there's the canal that is restored. You can see that there's the parking lot, and you can see there that I make a bay, which creates new new type of scenery in the city center. And yeah, the canal is designed so it drives you from the natural path to the city, where it's more like a square, like a local square, and then you can like go around it and go back to nature. So it's the green path. And this is the last district. That's the building. And as you can see that all the buildings that I make are like new because there's only the 4-lane road, and yeah, there's no pedestrian crossing. The only pedestrian crossing is quite high, so you have to go up or like down like 400 meters maybe more to cross it, or you have to use the car. So I create a quite small and dense area which has courtyards and backyards and front yards and everything, so like people can communicate between the nature and the housing. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. So, questions?
comments, rather. Thank you very much for your project. So it's time for congratulations. I like your planning solution. They are simple, but you don't need to do huge investments to do good urbanism. Also, I like the graphic side of your project. It's all the same situation. It's very simple, but very good. You don't need renders or complicated model to show your idea. So thank you very much for your project. I have only one question. Who chose the theme and the city? You or your teacher?
I chose the teacher that was providing the city.
Okay.
And then I have to choose the project. And it was only like up to me how big I want to make it and like what I want to focus on. And since I live like 15 kilometers from that town, like I grew up there, and we were always like laughing that the town is only around cars. So I wanted to make changes that can make it like good town that we won't laugh about, and like make them great and like make the historical like appearance again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did you discuss your proposal with local people, local politicians maybe?
No, but I guess I can tell that I'm local as well, maybe, since like I grew up like next to this town. And yeah, I, for example, like forgot to say that I designed also like art school there because they don't have places where they can teach and stuff. And I discussed that with politicians that are like for South Bohemia, like I don't know how it's called, the person that is yeah, making that, but they also like agree that they need the art school and stuff like that. So I didn't discuss it while I was designing it, but afterwards I like discovered that they have the same issues that I like this design here that they are dissolving. So
my guess is that's probably the idea of removing that 4-lane drive will be quite hot issue.
Yeah, but like
I understand what you are saying.
As we were discussing in front, I could do that only because there is a plan to have a bypass around Strakonice. There is already one, and there will be the second one, and that's the one that is making the traffic there. So because of that, I could like destroy or demolish this bridge.
I will just add the projects will get some publicity in different magazines, so maybe politicians can call you. You can have some feedback.
Maybe, like I tried to be like, as you said, like modest. I didn't want to be like utopian, and maybe like it can be applied. Like it's like it can't be, but
it can be of some inspiration for other urbanists. Yeah, definitely.
At least it shows a big potential how to use the space if the traffic will be removed. You know? That's good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think that was the final presentation. I wonder, Jakub, if you want to add something or somehow to summarize.
Oh. I think that first of all, I would like to say in my relation to jury committee that they choose probably the best projects from all others. And thank you for your presentations. I was really very surprised that you know how to present, and presentations were very clear, and they showed also a little bit how you was led by your teachers and why you have chosen certain topics. So for me it was enlightening meeting, and I think that we will continue with this kind of format of discussion. And also maybe I heard your idea to make some discussion with the teachers, and that would be a very good idea. So thank you very much. It was a very, very nice meeting.
So I would add that because you are here and I think majority of you will still continue in the study. I don't know in which years you are now, fifth or fourth?
Fifth. I'm
Fifth.
just finishing.
Finishing. But at least you are in touch with your teachers. If you go back to your university, tell your teachers that they will receive an invitation from us to some discussion that we will appreciate if you could join. And that just for your information that the results of the competition will be presented in professional periodicals, and the exhibition will travel around the universities. And not only that, it will also be exhibited on the conferences of National Planning Association in each country. And the Czech Association always invites the awarded speakers to annual conference, so that you will get the invitation to present it once more in autumn during our conference. I think it will be, I forgot the name of the city, but we will let you know. So we will stay in touch. Thank you once more. And now, where is the colleague? Where is the guide? Veronica is ready.
Yeah, who wants to join the tour around the school?
Yeah. So stay here. Help yourself with the refreshment, and Veronica will guide you on the city. And I wish you safe way home. Thank you very much for coming. Enjoy your stay in Prague, and hopefully see you next time as a professional architect. So, bye bye. Thank you.